I'm Debbie Godfrey. Welcome to the Positive Parenting PEP Talks podcast.
One of my favorite topics in the class is in session 2 when we go over changing our messages. And in this segment of the class, we look at many of the messages that we give children, such as hurry up, don't, stop it, etc. And we look at what that discouraging message is that a child's receiving and what's an encouraging alternative we can use instead. And so I'm just going to give you a couple of, there's about 20 or so that we go over in class. I'm going to give you a couple of those today for the pep talk. And one of my very favorites in the whole world is be careful. We say this 1,000 times a day to our kids. Be careful, be careful, be careful. And how do we know that this is giving us a discouraging message? Well, it's a result. If we say, be careful, don't spill your milk, what do? They spill their milk. Be careful, don't fall off your bike, crash. So the evidence is that when we say, be careful, the discouraging message is the world must be a scary place, and it throws our child off balance, and the very thing that we didn't want to happen happens. So what would be an encouraging alternative? What could we say instead? And in the class, we have parents brainstorm this, and it's very, very difficult to come up with an encouraging alternative. But what it is, there's actually two, and there's one that I use mostly, which is take care of yourself. So in any situation where I would want to say to my child, be careful, I can replace it with take care of yourself. So for example, my son Michael was about 9 months old and he was out climbing on the wood pile out back. And I knew if I said, be careful, he was going to go tumbling down off that wood pile. And I went out and I looked at him and I said, Michael, take care of yourself. And he looked down at his fat little legs and he steadied them. And he got control of his body. And it was amazing to me the different result that I got when I said, take care of yourself. So in those situations where you find yourself saying, be careful, be careful, be careful, see if you can remember to say, take care of yourself instead, and see what an amazing result it has on your child. One of my other favorites is one of the common statements we make is that we say, I don't care. So our children will say or do something, we'll go, I don't care, go ahead, or I don't care, do what you want. And this discouraging message here is that we in fact don't care. And so the child can get discouraged and they can misbehave as a result of that. So one of the things in this instance is what we want to say instead is use your judgment, you decide. And one of my classes actually added, and let me know what you decide, to add that extra bit of caring in there. So, for example, my daughter Brianna used to ask me all these silly questions, like, can I go play in the backyard? And I'd be like, I don't care, do what you want. She's like, can I go, she would just ask me really dumb things where I would just be exasperated and just say, I don't care, just do it. And I realized, that was discouraging her, and she seemed like I didn't care about her life. So I started noticing the times where she was doing this, and she would ask me something and I would say, use your judgment. And she'd be like, oh, okay, I guess I can go in the backyard, or oh, okay, I guess I can take the dog for a walk. And so all the times that before I had been getting exasperated, I was having fun saying, use your judgment. And then after I had done this for a while, one day she came to me and asked me something, and I was about to say, use your judgment. And she goes, I know, use my judgment. And I'm like, great. Then came the test. Whenever we do something different with our kids, you can expect to be tested. So one night, it was about half an hour before dinner time, and she came up to me and she said, Mom, can I have some ice cream? Well, I knew it was the test. And in that moment, I just decided, well, if she decides to have ice cream, she just can have ice cream. I'm not going to worry about it. So I said, use your judgment, you decide, and let me know what you decide. And she sat there and she thought about it for a minute, and then she said, well, if I have ice cream right now, I probably won't want to eat my dinner, so I guess I'll wait. It was so fun. So that just really showed me how good of a decision maker she was. And I used that memory all through her teen years to trust her judgment and to let her make decisions where I felt she was capable of doing that. So I hope these two have helped you. I may express some more in the future because these are really fun ones, and I love changing our messages. Have a great day and happy parenting.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Positive Parenting PEP Talks podcast. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Debbie Godfrey, owner and founder of positiveparenting.com. I hope you'll go and check out my website and follow me on Instagram and let me know about what you thought about today's episode. Did you learn something new? Were you able to do something different with your children? Did you have a success story? Those are my favorite to share. Let me know. Contact me. I'd love to hear from you. And also, what future topics would you be interested in hearing about on the Positive Parenting Pep Talks podcast? Thank you so much for being here and for all of your support. Take care and happy parenting.